I'm waiting for it to start recording. There we go. Let's see. Okay, I got it all. Yeah, you look better now.
Thank you.
All right, let's see if we can.
Hey, you went to USC, right? You said you went to USC?
I went to USC, yeah.
Did you go to the Arizona State game last year?
No, I didn't go.
My daughter goes to
Did you
Arizona
go?
State. I was there, yeah.
You went to Arizona State?
No, I didn't go. My daughter goes there now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, who won? I don't even remember. Oh, USC won, I'm sure.
Oh, no. Arizona State won.
Arizona State won?
Yeah, really. It's
Oh,
hot
my
as hell,
gosh.
though. It's impossible to stay for a whole game. I was dying.
Rich, Paul, we got you guys both on here.
Hey, Gary.
You look a lot better than Lenny does.
How's it going?
Hey, Rich. So if you guys have any questions that you might want to ask a team member as they go through this process, I'm going to have one on here in a little bit, and feel free to hit her with any kind of questions that may be coming up as you're going through your process. So, how are you guys doing?
We're in a good place, so I think we're moving along really well.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Rich, how's it going for you?
Just really getting started.
Okay. So that's today we're going to...
Just really getting started. Crazy month, man. I wasn't around very much.
Just taking vacation, or?
I had a seminar every Friday since the end of April.
You must be awfully smart by now.
Yeah, smart and tired.
Well, good. Paul and Lenny can tell you how it's, you can get caught up fairly quick, don't you guys think?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Because Lenny, you were behind for a little while, right?
I got a little behind. I didn't realize I was behind, and I caught up pretty quickly.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Rich, you'll catch up, and I am going to start the meeting here in just a minute. Let me see if I can get this figured out, but there we go. Oh. I lost myself. There you guys are. Okay. There we are. Okay, I'm going to turn the music off here. There we go. Okay, we got everybody coming on right now. Good. Lots of people on. Andrea, Jim, Karma, Mitch, I see you guys. Who else we got? TJ, Barry, Nick, Mike, Paul. Mike, I heard you won your golf match. Rich, Lenny, Karen, Brandon, Carla. Oh, Andrea's got you got your camera today, Andrea. Good. If you don't have your camera on, come back on with your camera so we can bring you on with us. Mark is on, Jim, Mike. I'm going to give you about one more minute and we'll get going. This meeting is going to be about catching up because I got some feedback from people that they're a little bit behind, which is quite all right. Rich just mentioned he was a little bit behind. I got lots of emails saying people were a little bit behind. So I am going to try to catch you up to date. So, all right, let's get going. Our catch-up meeting, June 4th. This is our agenda. It's going to be 60 minutes. I'm going to start with a special guest. One of my team members is going to come on and answer some questions, and she will be available for about 15 minutes to answer any questions that you all might have that have come up during your process. And if you have any questions you'd like to ask her, just get them ready. You can put them into I can either bring you on if you got your camera, or just type them into the question box over on the right. Hopefully you all know how to do that in the chat area or in the question area. You can type in either and I will get it. Then we're going to go through from start to finish, where we are right now, all the way from why you do what you do to how you express it to what you do to your vision, what makes what makes the world a better place, and we'll go into vision board, vision cards, and then question at the end. So let's start with, this is my dental assistant. This is Carla. I am going to bring Carla on air. She is in the building here with me. There she is. Hi, Carla.
Hi, everyone.
So you're going to have to speak up pretty loud. She is in our consult room right now, and that room is kind of like the cone of silence room. If any of you ever watched Get Smart and you remember what the cone of silence room was, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to get rid of that. There we go. The cone of silence room is like this glass that they would bring down, and it would make everything real quiet in there, and then they could never hear each other. But the room she's in is very similar to that, that there might be some echo in there. But Carla, thank you for being here tonight with everybody. I want to ask you a couple of questions. First off, you've been in multiple different practices before you came with us, and I want to know, with the experience you've had in so many different offices, how has it been different? I'm sorry? How has it been different knowing, working in a practice that knows their why and has worked with this process like we have versus other practices that have not? Can you hear me?
Okay, well, I've worked with lots of different teams and wonderful dentists, and they have.
Are you hearing me, Carla?
Can you hear me?
I love when the technology works like this.
Are you able to hear me? Yes. Yes. Can you hear me?
Very little. You're going to have to talk louder.
Yeah. Okay.
Very little. You're going to have to talk real loud.
Okay. Well, I've worked in several different practices, and
yes,
they were all great dentists. They had great staff. Okay. They had great staff and great dentists who worked really well. The thing they lacked was vision. They would get great ideas and they would fall flat. And I've seen several wonderful staff members move on to different practices because they weren't seeing these practices grow, weren't able to contribute, and that's a lot of our why, is to contribute as assistants. Can you still hear me? Yes? And so with knowing our whys, it really helps communicate within our team. It helps us bring the vision of the practice to life because we all know how we contribute. We communicate so much better. I know that my hygienist that works right next to me all day long, right down the hallway, is trust. And I can always hand off my patient and say, you can trust Misty is going to do a great job for you. And that is her why. And right away she can build on that and let them know life is better with great team. This is how we're going to give it to you. We're going to educate you. They're completely confident that each of our staff members knows exactly what we're doing, exactly who they're going to next. And the trust is automatic. We don't have to ask for it anymore. It's so relieving to know that everyone's on the same page, and we're very happy because we don't have to work at this. This is our play now. at other offices, they would lose their track of vision. They wouldn't keep it fresh in their mind. So they would have an idea, oh, let's use this laser. Then the laser would end up in a corner. I'm like, that's a $200,000 machine. It can't be in the corner. And so we were able to use something as simple as a diagnosis, the caries detector. The hygienists are the first ones to say, oh, we've got this, and we can use it. And then the doctor would come in and reiterate, it's so easy and it flows because everyone knows where they're coming from, how to hand off to the next person, why they're going to trust that person.
Great.
It's not work anymore. Does anyone have a question? I have been with Dr. Gary 6 years, and it's so funny, it doesn't even feel like 2. We don't even talk anymore about dentistry when we assist. We catch up with the patient. It's automatic. The dentistry is a bonus, you say. They benefit from our relationships that we're building with
So, Carla, I'm going to assume.
and they know that the work is
I'm going
always
to
gonna
assume
come out
that.
because
Well,
we
when I
really
see
do a
you
good
talking,
job
I'm
there.
hearing you in the other room talking,
They
and I'm
wanna
seeing
know
you
that
talking totally
we know
differently.
what's going on in there.
So, I want to ask you the next question, and
I
who
have
knows
no
when it'll get to
problem
you, but
remembering that
the next
stuff.
question I had for you was, let everybody know how involved you are, or you were, in creating our vision board, creating our affirmation card, and the whole process. How involved were you? And the rest of the team.
I'm not able to see the question.
I'm going to just walk
We
in the
were
other room and
hugely
ask her.
involved. You see, the doctor can have the vision, but we're the ones who help you make it come to life.
So there's a really big lag.
Yeah.
And so what I asked you was, how involved were you in the process of creating the practice?
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. Dr. Jerry was repeating for me, and that's very kind of him. So we were huge in creating the vision because we know where we were lacking. We also identified our strengths in our practice. First of all, we have a great core team. We have a great facility, and we have great patients. We want more. We found out our ideal patient, what our ideal day was. This was key for us to create our vision. So in order to create the
I think it must be my computer that's having this problem, because there was such a big lag there that I could never really hear. So I'm going to bring Carla right back on and see if we can get this better. I apologize for this technology problem, but let's see. Okay, is that better? Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay. So the question was,
Yeah.
how involved were you and the rest of the team in creating our vision boards, creating our affirmation, actually creating our entire practice?
We were hugely involved. We went right down to our ideal day, how our upfront lady, who was our greeter, was going to greet the patient, what our ideal patient was, how they walked into the practice, where they would go, who would say hi. We got it right down to exactly how that beautiful day would go, how much money we would make, how appreciated the patient was, what kind of patient we like, sedation patients. And very often we have those kind of days, and it's great. But it took all of us saying, this is how we want our schedule. This is how we'd like it to happen when the patient walks in. This is the first impression that they got of our office. It was beautiful. We knew exactly what we wanted to see, and it's happening. And our hygienist would add in the extra stuff that they would like to do, say inspirational cards. The upfront staff, our office manager, her why is trust, and so she would make sure that all the paperwork was perfect and that our sedation was right on time and all of the forms were filled out, all of the medications and everything were just so. So we never had to backtrack and do extra homework because we already have our flow down. But that's because we created the vision of what we wanted beforehand, right down to who speaks to them first on the phone. And it's so key that they know that they can be directed straight to our website, and they know us before they even come in and see us. So I would say that your staff is a huge part of it, because they're going to let you know where you're weak, what could be better, flow-wise, handing off the patients to each other, just showing confidence and trust them. These are the people who are making it work. Yes?
Well, let me ask you a question, Carla. How important is it so we created our vision, we created our vision board, and then we have our affirmation or our vision cards. How important do you think those cards are? Wow, there's a huge lag here. I think we're going to have to stop. Unfortunately, that didn't work as planned. It worked great in the warm-ups. That worked wonderful in our warm-ups too well when we did it live for you, but I wanted to have some time so that Carla could answer your questions. Hey, Carla. I'm going to go grab her. Why don't you come in here? There, why don't you just come right here? There she is.
Hi.
Okay, so we had a question
Okay.
right here from Paul. Says, was the vision in place when you got there, or were you part of developing the why of the practice?
Oh no, we started it all together. These guys had done lots of homework, Schuster and all that great stuff. And so they had lots of great policies and systems in place. But the vision, it's a group effort. You have to do it all together in order to make it work. So you have to know what the hygienist's ideal day is, or what the doctor's ideal day is, and make it all flow together. We use our office manager, our scheduling coordinator, what's my ideal day, sedation, and of course our doctor, and then we figure out the flow of everything. So no, it wasn't in place. We figure it out together. So we went right down to the core stuff. How much you want to make in a year, what perks you want, how you want to feel when you're done delivering that great dentistry, making that smile better for these people.
Good.
And we get good belly from it.
Here's another question we got from, okay, so what value do you see in the vision cards in the AM huddle?
Oh, there's lots of, like we used to chuckle every time we said we had a high-tech, low-volume, high-quality practice. Well, now everything's in place a year later. We have digital x-ray. We have computers in every operatory. It's hard to believe it went so quickly, but it was fresh in our minds, and then the implementation was so easy. Knowing everyone's why was knowing how we could depend on them for strengths and what they could offer in the practice. I know exactly who I'm to say, you need to go see Misty if you want a trusting relationship, because that's her why. If I need to get finances handled, Jenny. You know, if they need a schedule and they move a certain way, Marshall. Very simple. If we need things done just right and there's an exact way to do it, Leticia, she will take care of you. So there's no questions on where our strengths lie. So everybody can really utilize the teamwork, and it opens up all the communication. And so having those cards every morning, they just all came true. And so it kept it in our reticular activating system. And we find ourselves saying life is better with great teeth to patients. And then we pose the question, so what does that mean to you? Does it mean just being able to eat? Does it mean having a Hollywood white smile? Does it mean having dentures that don't hurt? And that just opens up communication. So they already know what you need to know before you walk in that room. That makes your staff that much more effective. And you're not doing so much of the work. We're working for you.
But the vision cards keep the vision
Clear.
Keep the reticular activating system clear.
Yeah.
So that things start happening on their own, like Carla was saying. They just start to take place without you having to work at it, because you're always thinking about it. You're thinking about it. It's always fresh. It's always fresh. Instead of having your vision in, like we talked about, in a binder where you stick it in a drawer somewhere, it doesn't really do much good. But when Carla started here, we had finished doing a lot of work on that, but it was in a nice little binder in a drawer that didn't really get that much.
I didn't see it.
No, you never saw it. We never talked about it. Now you can't miss our vision board because it's right there. So, very good. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry about the technological problems. I'm starting to realize that I think it is my connection here that slows everybody down. Because when we did this with one of my partners, Ridgely, who you saw last week, real choppy, when we did it, him starting the presentation, it was much clearer. So anyways, let's keep going. Thank you, Carla. What I wanted to do next is, you all have learned so much about the why, the how, about the what, and I want to start tonight's presentation or tonight's study group with seeing a few minutes of Simon's video, because I think you'll hear it differently, and it will help us to have a discussion on how we take what we've learned so far to market your practice. This isn't just about learning more information. The study club is about how do we market our practice. So I'm going to start tonight with a few minutes from Simon's video that'll lead right into what we're talking about. So I'm going to bring this on real quickly. I will disappear. I'm just going to watch a couple minutes.
How do you explain when things don't go as we assume? Or better, How do you explain when others are able to achieve things that seem to defy all of the assumptions? For example, why is Apple so innovative? Year after year after year after year, they're more innovative than all their competition. And yet, they're just a computer company. They're just like everyone else. They have the same access to the same talent, the same agencies, the same consultants, the same media. Then why is it that they seem to have something different? Why is it that Martin Luther King led the civil rights movement? He wasn't the only man who suffered in a pre-civil rights America, and he certainly wasn't the only great orator of the day. Why him? And why is it that the Wright brothers were able to figure out controlled powered manned flight when there were certainly other teams who were better qualified, better funded, and they didn't achieve powered manned flight, and the Wright brothers beat them to it? There's something else at play here. About 3.5 years ago, I made a discovery, and this discovery profoundly changed my view on how I thought the world worked, and it even profoundly changed the way in which I operate in it. As it turns out, there's a pattern. As it turns out, all the great and inspiring leaders and organizations in the world, whether it's Apple or Martin Luther King or the Wright brothers, they all think, act, and communicate the exact same way, and it's the complete opposite to everyone else. All I did was codify it. And it's probably the world's simplest idea. I call it the golden circle. Why, how, what? This little idea explains why some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't. Let me define the terms really quickly. Every single person, every single organization on the planet knows what they do, 100%. Some know how they do it, whether you call it your differentiating value proposition or your proprietary process or your USP. But very, very few people or organizations know why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, I mean what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why does your organization exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And why should anyone care? Well, as a result, the way we think, the way we act, the way we communicate is from the outside in. It's obvious. We go from the clearest thing to the fuzziest thing. But the inspired leaders and the inspired organizations, regardless of their size, regardless of their industry, all think, act, and communicate from the inside out. Let me give you an example. I use Apple because they're easy to understand and everybody gets it. If Apple were like everyone else, a marketing message from them might sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Meh. And that's how most of us communicate. That's how most marketing is done, that's how most sales is done, and that's how most of us communicate interpersonally. We say what we do, we say how we're different or how we're better, and we expect some sort of behavior, a purchase, a vote, something like that. Here's our new law firm. We have the best lawyers with the biggest clients. We have, we always perform for our clients, do business with us. Here's our new car. It gets great gas mileage. It has, leather seats. Buy our car. But it's uninspiring. Here's how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Want to buy one? Totally different, right? You're ready to buy a computer from me. All I did was reverse the order of the information. What it proves to us is that people don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. This explains why every single person in this room is perfectly comfortable buying a computer from Apple. But we're also perfectly comfortable buying an MP3 player from Apple, or a phone from Apple, or a DVR from Apple. But as I said before, Apple's just a computer company. There's nothing that distinguishes them structurally from any of their competitors. Their competitors are all equally qualified to make all of these products. In fact, they tried. A few years ago, Gateway came out with flat-screen TVs. They're eminently qualified to make flat-screen TVs. They've been making flat-screen monitors for years. Nobody bought one. And Dell. Dell came out with MP3 players and PDAs. And they make great quality products, and they can make perfectly well-designed products, and nobody bought one. In fact, talking about it now, we can't even imagine buying an MP3 player from Dell. Why would you buy an MP3 player from a computer company? But we do it every day. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. The goal is not to do business with everybody who needs what you have. The goal is to do business with people who believe what you believe. Here's the best part. None of what I'm telling you is my opinion. It's all grounded in the tenets of biology, not psychology, biology. If you look at a cross-section of the human brain, looking from the top down, what you see is the human brain is actually broken into three major components that correlate perfectly with the golden circle. Our newest brain, our Homo sapien brain, our neocortex, corresponds with the what level. The neocortex is responsible for all of our rational and analytical thought and language. The middle two sections make up our limbic brains, and our limbic brains are responsible for all of our feelings, like trust and loyalty. It's also responsible for all human behavior, all decision-making, and it has no capacity for language. In other words, when we communicate from the outside in, yes, people can understand vast amounts of complicated information like features and benefits and facts and figures. It just doesn't drive behavior. When we communicate from the inside out, we're talking directly to the part of the brain that controls behavior, and then we allow people to rationalize it with the tangible things we say and do. This is where gut decisions come from. You know, sometimes you can give somebody all the facts and your figures, and you say, I know what all the facts and details say, but it just doesn't feel right. Why would we use that verb? It doesn't feel right. Because the part of the brain that controls decision-making doesn't control language. And the best we can muster up is, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Or sometimes you say you're leading with your heart or you're leading with your soul. Well, I hate to break it to you, those aren't other body parts controlling your behavior. It's all happening here in your limbic brain, the part of the brain that controls decision-making and not language. But if you don't know why you do what you do, and people respond to why you do what you do, then how will you ever get people to vote for you or buy something from you, or more importantly, be loyal and want to be a part of what it is that you do? Again, the goal is not just to sell people who need what you have. The goal is to sell to people who believe what you believe. The goal is not just to hire people who need a job. It's to hire people who believe what you believe. I always say that, you know, there's if you hire people just because they can do a job, they'll work for your money. But if you hire people who believe what you believe, they work for you with blood and sweat and tears. And nowhere else is there a better example of this than with the Wright brothers. Most people
There we go. Okay. So I bet you heard that totally differently this time than the first time you heard it. And like I was saying, I recommend that you guys watch that at least once a week or once every 2 weeks, because you'll see it and you'll hear it totally differently now that you've experienced it yourself. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And if you don't know why you do what you do, then how are you ever going to get people to move forward? How are you going to build loyalty? How are you going to get them to move forward with where you want them to go and be your clients if you don't even know why you do? So that's why we started with why. So like I said, today's study club is going to start at the beginning, and I'm going to take you all the way through again so that you really get a clear picture of what it is we're doing here and how you're going to use this to build your marketing strategy so that you can attract your ideal clients. But it has to start with your why. And so Simon Sinek talked about his golden circle, right? Why, how, what? And how your why is your cause, your how is your value proposition, your what is your product or services. So we are going to take what Simon created, and we're going to take it farther. And I wanted you to pay particular attention to the part about the brain, because he talked about the neocortex, the outer part of the brain, the part that corresponds with your what, being responsible for rational and analytical thought and language, right? That's the part that can understand features, benefits, facts, figures, all that kind of stuff. He talked about the limbic brain being the inner two circles, and the limbic brains being responsible for all our feelings like trust and loyalty. It's also responsible for all human behavior, all decision making, and has no capacity for language. It's the decision making part of your brain. So if we start with the why, start from the inside and work our way out, we'll build loyalty, we'll build trust, right? And so that's where Simon started with the golden circle. So we're going to take this even farther, because he said, like he talked about, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And the better able you are to articulate why you do what you do, the more you will attract those people that believe what you believe, that are part of your cause, that are looking for you, right? So the goal is not to do business with those people that need what you have. The goal is to do business with those people that believe what you believe, right? So obviously he uses Apple a lot as an example. And if you go to Apple's website right now and you look at their video for the new iPad, you'll see the very first thing they say is, we believe. We believe technology is at its best when it's invisible. And so if you, after we're done today, go to Apple's website, watch the Apple on the new, the video on the new iPad, and you'll see that Apple is doing exactly what it is that we're teaching you to do in our study club. So the goal is not to do business with those people that need what you have. The goal is to do business with those people that believe what you believe. And so how do we use this information to market our practice, to build our marketing strategy for our practice so that we attract our ideal client? I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to do that in the next couple of slides. We talked about the business bullseye. Okay, we took where Simon started with the why, the how, and the what, and we added the next three layers. The vision. So once you know why you do what you do and how you want to express it, then your what is a manifestation of your why. Your what is what you do. And you have lots of whats, like we talked about before. If your why is to find a better way, like my why is, one of my whats is being a dentist, one of my whats is being a coach, one of my whats is being an inventor, one of my whats is being a parent, being a husband, those things. So I have lots of whats. But the particular what that we're talking about is building your dental practice. So you've got to have a vision for that practice. Once you know your vision, then you'll know who it is you need to attract to create that vision. And then lastly, what it is they want. Now I want to show you how this corresponds to the brain again. So here is the why and the how, which is your limbic brain. Your limbic brain is responsible for feeling and decision making, right? Then your what and your vision are part of the neocortex, which is responsible for rational thinking. And then when we get to the who and the want, that's your reticular activating system. And your reticular activating system is responsible for identifying information we tell it is important. It's training your reticular activating system, training the reticular activating system of your team, and then connecting with the reticular activating system of your ideal client. And so we're taking it deeper, taking it farther, so that you can actually use the information in the golden circle to create your marketing plan, your marketing strategy to attract your ideal client. So is this making sense to everybody? Are there any questions on this? Because this is really important. This is the basis for what we're doing to create your marketing strategy. And I think watching Simon's video, that can, it starts to make a lot more sense to you. Any questions before I move forward on this? Your limbic brain is responsible for feeling and decision making, your why and your how. Then as you move out to your what and your vision, that's your neocortex. It's responsible for rational thinking, facts, figures, features, benefits, what's you're trying to create. Then From your what, we go to the reticular activating system, which is responsible for identifying information we tell it is important. So hopefully this is all making sense to you. I'm going to keep going then because I didn't get any questions. Anything on chat? Perfect. And I'm going to move forward. So, in our business bullseye, in Module 1, we talked about your why and your how. Why you do, what you believe. Your how is how you express your why. So when what you do is in line with why you do it and how you want to express it, you'll have passion for what it is you do. So Module 1 was about creating the passion for your business, for what you want to create. Module 2, which we're on now, is your what and your vision. It's what it is you want to create that you are passionate about. And then Module 3 coming up is going to be about who you need to attract to create that vision and what it is they want. So I was talking before we started tonight about to one of our members about creating your USP or creating your tagline. How do you create your tagline so you can use it on your stationery, you can use it on your website, or you can use it wherever you want? That is all going to be in Module 3. I'm going to take you through step by step exactly how to create your USP or your tagline so that it's very strong. It says exactly what you want to say. There's a process that you go through. And if you follow the sequence that I'm going to give you in Module 3, you'll be able to have that so that you can use that to market your practice as well. So that's what we're doing. My why, my how, my what, for me, my why is to find a better way and share it. That's how I think. I can't turn it off. I go to bed thinking about it. I wake up thinking about it. Everywhere I go, I'm thinking about how can I do this better? And when I find it, then I share it. So how I do it is I find a need or a problem. This is something you should all do for each one of you, the same exercise. How I do it is I find a need or a problem. I study what others have done to solve that need or problem, like Simon Sinek, like John Assaraf, like everybody that I've used to create this program. I studied them. I went to their courses. I became friends with them. I learned exactly how to do it, so I do it the same way they do. They mentored me. They coached me. They took me through this process so that I could do it the same way they do it. Then I copied them until I could do it as good as they can. Step 4 was I found a better way. After I'd been doing it, I said, well, what if we tried this? I mean, it's just the way my brain works. What if we tried a different way? Would this work better? How can I do it better? So I find a better way to do it, and then I share that solution, which is exactly what the 40 Study Club is about, sharing the solutions that I found. My what is a cosmetic or restorative sedation dentist. That's what we're trying to create right now. So our vision would be we picture a world where our patients have great teeth and a better life. Is this making sense to everybody? Any questions? Any problems with this? Okay. I don't see any, so I'm going to move forward. I know some of you are a little bit behind. Like I said, I've talked to some of you individually, and it's okay. It doesn't matter where you're at. You'll catch up. Like Lenny was talking about at the beginning, he got behind at first, and now he's caught right up. I loved what you sent me last week, Lenny. That was really good. So I will keep going. This here kind of summarizes it. This slide summarizes the whole thing. Why? Your why is why you do what you do and what you believe. This is all part of the limbic brain. The how is the way you express your why. What makes you special? What makes you unique? Then your what is what you do. It's a manifestation of your why. Okay, and that's your neocortex. Then we go to the vision, which is how your what makes the world a better place. What you decided, what you're trying to create, your vision is how your what makes the world a better place. And we had two components to the vision. The vision headline and the vision detail, which we'll get into in a few minutes. And then your who is who you need to attract to create your vision. You're training with the vision, with your who, with your want, you're training your reticular activating system to look for these things 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So your who is who you need to attract to create your vision, which we're going to get into in Module 2. And your want is what do they want? What are they looking for? Not what do they need, what do they want? And you're going to create all of your marketing strategies, all of your marketing materials, all of your radio spots, if you will, all of your website, everything you do is going to be based on what does your ideal client want? What is their reticular activating system looking for? And that's how you use what Simon started to create your marketing strategy. Any questions? This is a good slide to write down and keep for yourself because it kind of summarizes the whole steps, all the steps. Okay, so we talked about why do you need a vision? The vision is to train your reticular activating system on what it is you want. A vision is basically a decision on what you want. And so we broke the vision up into, so that your vision is how you train your reticular activating system. So your reticular activating system is the part that filters all the incoming information from your eyes, from your nose, from your taste, touch, smell, everything comes through the reticular activating system, and it is responsible for identifying information we tell it is important, and it lets that part through and filters all the rest out. So what we need to do is to create a very specific picture of our vision in our conscious mind. The reticular activating system will then pass this on to our subconscious, which will then help us achieve the goal. It does this by bringing to our attention all the relevant information which otherwise might have remained background noise. So we talked about if you were in a room with a lot of noise going on, with a lot of people around, and somebody mentions your name off in the corner, your reticular activating system will pick that up, and you'll know that they're there, whereas otherwise it would just remain background noise. And there's lots of examples of how the reticular activating system works. Our purpose in creating a crystal clear vision is so that we train the reticular activating system of us and all of our team members on what it is we're looking for, so things start to happen naturally. They start to happen without a lot of work. It wasn't a lot of work to hear your name being called out in the middle of all those people. However, if you were sitting there thinking, I gotta hear it, I gotta hear it, I gotta hear it, I gotta work hard to hear my name, that would be totally different than what happened. You would just program your reticular activating system to always be aware for your name. It heard it instantly, and all that noise, it picked it out. Same thing's going to happen as you train your reticular activating system to look for your vision, for all the different areas that you've created in your vision. And you're going to see, it's going to be fun for you to see how this takes place, because that's what Carla was talking about earlier, and that's what's happened for us. So your vision, we talked about having two parts to your vision headline and your vision detail. The vision headline is how your what makes the world a better place, hopefully in 12 words or less. And your vision detail is the detail of your vision, where you break it down into the different areas of your practice and you create that what you want in detail in each of those areas. So the vision headline would be something like, we picture a world where healthy people have great teeth and a better life, or maybe a sedation practice or a cosmetic practice. We picture a world where happy people have straight teeth and a better life, for an orthodontic practice. We picture a world where everyday people chew comfortably with all their teeth. Could be for a implant practice. And we picture a world where having beautiful smile, a comfortable bite, and great oral health is simple. And that was for Andrea. So your vision headline starts with, we picture a world where. And I know some of you have worked on this before, and some of you have sent me your vision headline in a different format. You can do that, but it does tend to work a lot better using the structure that we've already created. But if you feel more comfortable with something else, then go ahead. But then we go into your vision detail, where we broke your business down into the business, marketing, physical plant, hygiene, doctor and assistant, technology, and front office. And so with that, you got all the detail that what you want in each one of those areas, and you took that to your vision board, right? And your vision board is just a visual representation of what we want, where you want to go. You use your vision board to program your reticular activating system on the things you want. That's all it's for. So you get a picture representation of what it is you're trying to create, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. Trying to remember a whole bunch of text is very challenging, but trying to remember a picture is not. So that's why you go from the words that you created to the cards you created on your vision board to the pictures that you have, so that when you look at your vision board, you'll see a picture of what you want to create. Any questions on any of this? I have not seen any questions, so I'm going to keep going. The vision, you take your vision and you put it onto your vision board in these different areas. And I've seen lots of your pictures of your vision boards, and I appreciate you sending those to me because there's some really good ones. And on the right side, you have successes where you're going to move what you've manifested, what's happened. You're going to move it over into the success area, right? And then I showed you our vision board. Our vision board at this time was a combination of pictures and cards because we just had our retreat, and we came up with new things that we want in these different areas. So you will always kind of be that way. There'll always be things that are being taken off and put over on the success area, and things that you're wanting to put on the vision board, and things that are there that have not yet come true. And so many of the things, as you see on our success area, have come true. And it is so motivating. It is so powerful for you and for your team members to see all these successes on the right. I mean, we have, I don't know how many, 70, 50, something like that, that have just really shown that what we've done has worked. And it'll be the same exact thing for you. Here, let's see, here are some of the pictures that you guys sent me. Here's some of the different vision boards. One that's still empty, but at least the board's up on the wall. We've got some of the cards there on the right. One of them I couldn't quite see a picture. I couldn't quite read, but thanks for sending it to me anyways. And just a bunch of different vision boards in different stages. So I like it. I really like it. The vision board on the top left, that was from Jason. And when he sent that to me, he said, you know what? I think I like writing better than I like pictures. And and he has a partner, Scott. And so as we talked for a little while, Scott really liked the pictures. Jason really liked the wording. But by the time we got done going through his vision board and the purpose of the vision board and how you use it to train your reticular activating system and the reticular activating system of your team, he agreed that, you know, the writing is just not going to do it. You don't remember any of it. You see it, but you don't really remember it. So it doesn't have the impact that having all the pictures up there would have. And when I talked to Carla at the beginning, we talked about having our vision board our vision in a binder. When we went through all of our initial training at the Schuster Center, we had to work on our vision. And we did create stories and a crystal clear picture of our vision, but it did go into a binder. And like she said, she'd probably been with us, I don't know, a couple of years and never seen it. We get so busy doing what we do that we forget to think about where we're going. And she was a new team member, and we never even really showed it to her. She didn't really know where we were going. She just kind of tried to fit in. I'm sure this has happened to some of you all. But when the vision board is up in where we have our morning huddle, you can't miss it. And it doesn't take long to take a new team member over to the vision board and show them what it is we're trying to do. Show them what it is we want to create. Show them where we've already come from and all the successes that we've had. It's very exciting and very quick and easy to bring a new team member up to speed by just taking them over and showing them your vision board. But as good as your vision board is, walking by it every day, you still need to be able to keep your vision fresh. And that's what the vision cards are about. So we talked about, so a lot of you have your vision boards up, and that's awesome. The next step, write down everything that's on your vision board, all the things that you want to manifest, all the things that you want to have happen, put them in a list, Order them in the most important to the least important, the ones you want to have happen first to the ones that are come later. And then you're going to create these vision cards that match up with each one of those. And every morning, so there's 9 of us, every morning we hand out one card to each of our team members and we read that card so that it stays right in the crystal clear in our reticular activating system. It doesn't get fuzzy. Fuzzy visions don't get you anywhere. You've got to have a clear vision. The way to keep it fresh is by taking your vision board and making these vision cards. And as you manifest them, then you can put them, take that out of the series and add the next one in so that you're always focused in on what it is you want to create. And the last thing, I wanted to, so when you create your vision cards, you can do them with just writing because you're going to be reading them, or you can do them with writing and a picture like we have here. But we have our Life is Better with Great Teeth on every single one of our cards. The more you can do to keep your vision fresh, to keep your vision clear, to be able to express your vision to your clients, to your new patients, to your existing patients, the more you talk about it, the more things will happen. The more it's not talked about, the less likely it is that it's going to happen. So any questions on this? That's how you use the golden circle and your why to create the marketing strategy and the marketing plan for your business. That's how you attract the right people to your business so that you have the business of your dreams. It doesn't just happen by accident. You're taking it step by step by step. So the 2 things I want you to remember. I want you to remember that it's people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And the better able you are to articulate why you do what you do, the more you will attract those people that believe what you believe. You got to know that. I'm sure you've heard it a million times. I know I've said it a bunch of times. You got to know that. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. The second thing I want you to remember, it's the application of information in the right sequence that yields results. It's the application of information in the right sequence that yields results. It's not just knowing this information. It's not just sitting here on the study club's meetings every 2 weeks that's going to get you any results. It's applying this information that we're teaching you in the right sequence. Just follow along with the order that I put it in. I put it all in the right sequence for you. All you got to do is follow along step by step by step. It's going to really be important when we get to Module 3. Not that this wasn't, but when we get to Module 3, I'm taking you down the steps of figuring out who it is you need to create that vision, and then what it is they want, and how you can speak to them, how you know that your marketing will hit them right in their reticular activating system. They can't miss it. It's like all that noise. When you hear your name, that's speaking right to you. It's catching your attention. You didn't have a choice. It caught your attention. You weren't sitting there thinking, I'm listening for my name. Your reticular activating system was, but it wasn't any work. But you heard it. Boom, it caught your eye, caught your ear. The same thing's going to happen when you use the reticular activating system of your ideal client to create your marketing message. It will hit them right in the reticular activating system. They cannot not hear it. It just works like that. It's not a choice. So that's what we're going to learn in the next module, but it's a step-by-step sequence. Follow along. It's going to be a great experience for you. You're going to learn so much about your ideal client and how to speak with them. So do we have any questions? Does that all make sense? Am I preaching to the choir? Are you all Simon Sinek experts? Why experts? How experts? Anything I can help you with? Because I am here. We've got our next study club is going to be Wednesday, June 20th. I'm not changing the homework because a lot of you are a little bit behind. I know you got vacations coming up. I know you got all kinds of stuff, graduations and all that going on. So we'll keep it the same. Create your vision headline, your vision detail, create your vision board, and create your vision cards. So you're using them. I will have module 3 up soon, so that those of you that are already to this place can move forward onto module 3. Any questions? Thanks, Jan. I'm glad it was helpful. I wanted to just take you from beginning to end, exactly why we're doing what we're doing, why it's in that sequence, why you can't get out of that sequence. You just got to follow along. Just do the work. It will all unfold for you because it's all in the right sequence. That's how you get results. It's not by jumping around. It's not by trying to create your USP or your elevator pitch or all those things now. You got to wait till I take you through the process, and you'll have it. So the absolute worst thing that could come out of this study club for you, the worst thing that could come out of this is that you know exactly how to speak to your client if you just follow the sequence. So all you got to do, get to work, follow the sequence. Anything else I can help with? Oh, something I want you to know about. This study club, we're about halfway through. We are going to start another study club. So if you have friends in other parts of the country that you think might be interested in learning what you all have learned, we'll give you some information on that. Because I've gotten that, a couple of you sent me emails saying, hey, I've got a buddy that wants to get in. I know we're too far ahead. When's the next one? So we'll send you that information. If you have friends in other study clubs in other parts of your city even, or areas that don't compete with you or feel like they compete with you, and you would like to help them along this process, we will be starting another study club in I think it's within the month. So I'll let you know all that information. Anything else I can help with? Watch Simon Sinek's video with your team again. If you haven't done it since the beginning, watch it again, because they will hear it differently. Like Carla was talking about, it's not just you knowing this. My practice, our practice, would not even be close to what we have now if I didn't have people like Carla, if I didn't have a team of people that know where we're headed, know what we're trying to create, are enthusiastic about it, are excited about it. And I think you're going to find that all of your team members are going to be that way once they get it. So if they get it, they'll help you build it. We are now at 7:30. But I don't see any questions. If I don't hear any questions in the next few minutes, you made it through another study club. And thanks for putting up with me. But this gives you all a little bit more time to catch up, so you're not so rushed. I got a lot of emails, with that, hey, hold up for a little bit, slow down for a little bit, and so I wanted to just kind of slow the pace for right now, and then we'll pick it up again when we get to Module 3. Some really cool stuff in Module 3. Something you've never seen before, I can't imagine, and the process I'm going to take you through is going to be really exciting, really eye-opening, a lot of fun too, especially when you're creating it for your own practice. So if there's no questions, it is 7:31. We are just right on time. And you all have a great week. I'm going to be in Kansas City this week. The following weekend, I turn 50. Oh my God, it scares me to death. I'm going to go to Las Vegas, and that should be fun too. So if I have bags under my eyes and a lot less money, you know what happened. All right, you all have a great week. Please send us emails at support@4ddentistry.com if you have any questions, any problems, anything we can help you with. You know what? One last thing. Sorry, I gotta say one last thing. I hope everybody's still here. If you need help, there are other ways that we can help you. We've been getting some emails from people that saying they want more help. There are ways for us to almost even create all of this for you. So if you need that and you want that, please send us an email at support@4ddentistry.com, and we can talk to you more about what's available for you. So have a great week. We'll see you on the 20th. Take care.